Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats.
The right song can not only perfectly summarize a movie, but it can tell a story unique to itself and of its own all at the same time. And guess what? If you're within the sound of my voice, that must mean that you're in the seats with once more. As always, my name is Dave Voigt, and I'm the host of this podcast where we sit down with a wide ranging variety of entertainment industry professionals, and we sit and pick their brain about current projects, state of the industry, how they got started, and so very much more in a light and conversational fashion in this audio only experience. We take pride in that. This is an audio only experience. And you know what? If you like what you're hearing right now, I'm assuming you do because you're listening. So please keep listening and subscribe. Give us that little 5-star rating on your podcast provider of choice and subscribe. We're available pretty much everywhere. Places like Apple, Amazon, Spotify, Google, and plus we archive every single one of our episodes over at our In the Seats YouTube channel. So please do us an ultimate kindness. Come on by and pay us a visit. And subscribe there too. It means a lot. Also, check us out on social media. We're on the Facebook, the Twitter, or X, the Instagram, the Letterboxd, the TikTok, the Blue Sky, the Threads. I'm losing track. There's too much. But we're at In the Seats for all sorts of fun updates. And finally, and I do dare say most importantly, please pay us a visit over at In the Seats, intheseats.ca for all the latest and greatest from the world of film, television, basically the movie image at large. Because guess what? We love to watch it and read about it and talk about it. We love it all that much more when you come by and read about it and listen about it. So please do us that ultimate kindness. Come on by and pay us a visit. Boys and girls, this is a fun one. On this episode, we're diving into Spike Lee's latest Highest to Lowest, which is a remake of Akira Kurosawa's High and Low, which is playing on Apple TV Plus now, and it's starring the indomitable Denzel Washington. It's a very good movie. It's a bit of a remake. I mean, not hardcore to the same way, but it's definitely inspired by, and there's a lot of similar beats to it. I enjoyed the movie, quite good, but without giving too much away, there's this moment at the end of the movie where Denzel's character, who's a record executive, meets this young woman who's about to audition for him, and she sings this song that it just brings the house down. It's a beautiful song. It's really well done. Obviously, in the film, it's called Highest to Lowest. It is called Highest to Lowest. But we talked with the artist who played the singer in that film, and is a singer, the one only Aiyana-Lee, who, again, she's on the come up. I mean, I don't want to say overnight sensation, but it's kind of getting there. And I mean, this is a powerhouse of a song. And I mean, Spike discovered her on Instagram and then put her in this movie, and then all this great stuff's happening. And she's a fun one. And I mean, I'm hoping the best for her going forward, absolutely. But we talked about the song, working with Spike and Denzel, and just sort of the power of music and movies, and sort of how, you know, songs are storytelling too, and just sort of this collision of storytellers and art that we get to see in the movies is such a beautiful thing. But like I said, the song is Highest to Lowest. It's by Aiyana-Lee, and we had a great conversation. But check out the movie Highest to Lowest. But check out our conversation with Aiyana-Lee, who sang Highest to Lowest, because it was a good one. I had fun, and I hope you do too. Just to kick it off, I mean, obviously, just congrats on the work and the song, and I mean, just again, and I mean, thank you so much for the time today. This is this is a real pleasure.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Now, I mean, I guess the $1 million question is like, walk me through sort of this great story of yours, from Instagram to Spike to sort of being on set with Denzel.
Man, it really feels like a dream. It feels not real. But this kind of journey started with Spike finding me from Instagram. I had wrote this song called My Idols Lied to Me in my bedroom, and it kind of, garnered all of this attention. It got 20 million views per video. I had gone from 60,000 followers to half a million, to it continuously growing. And I woke up at 6 a.m. one morning and I see this message from the real Spike Lee. I'm like, okay, like official Spike Lee, something like that. And I was like, okay, this is probably a fan impersonating this man, right? It just has to be a fan
He got
impersonation.
hacked. He got hacked.
Right. Okay. I was like, someone paid for the verification, right? So I open the message and it starts with something along the lines of, this is the real Spike Lee. I'm like, okay, right. That's what an impersonator would say. And so it kind of goes on to say that, I've listened to your songs and your discography and I've really loved it, and just this very long, beautiful message. And I'm like, this can't be real. I go to my mom, I wake my mom up at 6 a.m. I'm telling her, hey, I think maybe Spike Lee DM me. And she's like, okay, go back to sleep. You're definitely dreaming. Your dreams are getting wilder by the day. Um, but it just so happened that I met him in person that day in Los Angeles. He happened to be here that day, and it was indeed the real Spike Lee.
That's absolutely amazing. And I mean, this song is such a linchpin for just sort of the whole movie to come together. And I mean, obviously,
Mm.
it's designed to bring the house down, and obviously it does. I mean, I've been
Oh,
scrolling through YouTube, finding you performing it in various different venues, and
oh,
obviously you're killing it. But I
thank
mean,
you.
talk me through, I guess, sort of crafting the song. Like, did Spike kind of leave that all to you? Like, was there input? Like, what was the back and forth on that in terms of
Yeah.
finding sort of the right material for this big, sort of booming song at the end of the film?
Yeah, it was very intentional. I think with Spike, he really cares about um that musicality and that crossover with film, and making sure that something is really telling the story of the film and moving it forward. And he wanted a crescendo, in his own words, what he would
Right.
say, a crescendo at the end of the film that really encapsulates the entirety of what this story is. And he let me, read the script to the movie. So that was a very important part, and taking that in. And then over the course of a week, we had gone back and forth on the phone. I had written probably 10 songs, um, uh, trying to get to what that song at the end of the film would be. And so I joke all the time, I have a folder of Spike Lee joints on my hard drive. But we really were very meticulous, and he wanted to make sure that I was telling the film story. David King being a music
Yeah.
executive, he, throughout the story, he's kind of like, we talk about film and how in this film, David really for a long time prioritized kind of the numbers, or like, um you're kind of at this battle crossroads of, what's more important, like the numbers and kind of this inauthenticity versus real artistry and raw talent. And at the end of the film, the choice of also doing this song live kind of encapsulates again that story and that realization for David that he wants to return to his roots as an executive, which is real music, real artistry, a real story. And this song, Spike, really encouraged me to tell my own story, and what I had been through in the music industry myself, for years of the ups and downs and tumultuous times. And yeah, Spike really wanted me to tell my story. And through telling my story, I was able to also tell the film and David's story as well.
Absolutely. I mean, it's so true, just of sort of film and music, just the stories of, the struggles of the creatives all across the planet have to
Yeah.
go through. It's so relevant. But I mean, I guess that
Yeah.
dovetails into my next question. Like, you did perform it on set. Like, you did it in
Live.
front of
Yeah.
Denzel in the moment.
Yes. It was such a important choice, It was really important. We, wanted this to be real, and you're seeing Denzel's real reactions in real time. And um Spike wanted it to be just a very truthful um performance. And um it felt like that was the best choice. We did it with an actor's mic. The set is very dead sound, so there's no reverb, there's no auto tune, there's literally just my voice and a very dry, you know, dry encapsulation of my voice through an actor's mic. So it was really cool to do it that way because it felt more vulnerable, and I think through that we got the most authentic performance.
Well, and it's funny because when I saw the film initially, I didn't quite pick up on this, but when I watched it again,
Yeah.
sort of when you're bringing it home, and the orchestra kicks in. It's like, well, there's not an orchestra there. We're hearing this through David's head,
Yes.
and that's
Yeah,
the
you
magic of
clocked
it.
it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And that's what Spike talks about because, at first, obviously on set, it's just me and Ricky who's playing the piano. And so we did all of that live. And then, as the story goes, Spike was watching the scene play out and watching Denzel's reactions to me. And he's thinking, you know, in the first few seconds of me singing, he's like, he knows he's gonna sign me, but through it, he's starting to imagine what that full song would sound like, and that's when the violins come in and the full orchestra, and there's a real orchestra, 90-piece orchestra that comes in, and it was very important to kind of capture his visualization of where he wanted to go with it.
No, 100%. And I mean, this is something I've got to ask because I mean, obviously, as a musician, as an artist, I'm sure you've heard Denzel's speech in various different forms from various different people, probably 100 different times. But I've got to imagine hearing it from Denzel is probably
Man,
a little bit different. Like, how did
man.
you sort of keep in the moment rather than going like, "Holy shit, Denzel's giving me this speech"?
Man, it's so easy because he puts you in the scene. Like he's just such an incredible actor and person to work with because he's just so present and you have no choice but to be present with him. He commands that. He is that. And you know, that's something that he also, like, we had a lot of conversations on set just about, you know, acting and music and all these different things. And one thing he said was, just listen. That's all you have to do is just listen to what I'm saying, and and it'll come to you. When you're put in that moment and you are grounded in what's happening. I think that's the biggest takeaway for me also as an actor, being grounded in the moment. And the cool thing about Denzel also is you never know what he's going to do. And so he really keeps you on your toes. And I remember there was one take where I was like, he the way he played it, I was like, "Am I getting signed? Like, is the script? Is there something in the script I do not know about?" Because I'm like, "Uh-oh!" Like, I'm not sure if this scene is gonna go the way it was written. Um, so it's really cool to work with someone who keeps you on your toes like that.
Oh, I can imagine. I can only
Yeah,
imagine. And I mean, at the end of the day, music and songwriting is such a unique form of storytelling. And I mean, this collision of you and Spike and Denzel in the moment, I've got to imagine is one of those things that not only would inspire you, but inspire a lot of people as well. And I mean, even when I'm listening to music, I'm a big soul music fan. And I mean, like when I close my eyes and I listen to Donny Hathaway and I listen to Bill Withers, I can see the movie in my head.
yeah,
Like for you as a storyteller, as a
yeah.
songwriter, like what's the music that sort of inspired you to get into this business?
Man, I mean, there's so many forms of music that I've, kind of absorbed as a child that I think I've always kind of been inspired by. But, it goes from people in my family, like, my uncle being David Ruffin
Right,
and
yeah.
Jimmy Ruffin being my grandfather, it kind of, I think a lot of that Motown feel I really enjoyed growing up. And then also my mom being, a 17 times platinum songwriter, which again inspired me fully to understand the importance of the lyrics, in particular, and storytelling. I think there was always so much music playing in my household. Michael Jackson and Whitney and Celine Dion and Mariah Carey and Queen, and I think Elton John. It's just so many incredible storytellers. Um, that I think those are all people that have inspired me. Stevie Wonder. I mean, I could go on and on. There's so many greats that we have, and yeah, I'm just I continue to be inspired by all those people.
And I mean, obviously, people like Elton and Diane Warren have, complimented you, and I mean, I can imagine sort of this
Diane,
whirlwind
great.
of
Yeah,
award season is kind of wild. But I
yeah.
mean, I've got to ask because obviously, for a lot of people, this song is going to be their introduction to you.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's such a big song. Like, was there any sort of
Oh,
trepidation to be like, okay, like I'm really putting myself out there and I'm singing my heart out, and this is the one. Like, if I'm gonna put my best foot
yeah.
forward, this has got to be it.
Yeah, I think which is it's so wild. I had written so many songs for this because Spike again, very meticulous on what he wanted. And so like by the time we got to this song particularly, I I didn't even realize this would be the song. Now listening to it, I'm like, of course this was the song.
Yeah,
Now I'm like,
yeah.
wow, yes, this was the song. Um, you know, to me, the coolest thing I guess about it is how truthful it is. It's not a story that's a contrived kind of like um of course it captures the movie and the essence of what this film is, which is number one, but it also captures my story as an artist and human
Yeah.
being. And I think that's probably why the performance also came out the way it did. And it, when I watch the scene, it makes me and my mom cry because we know what's behind it. The many, many years of struggle and like just the insanity that this journey has been. But I think it's really beautiful that this is a song that this is the song. And again, like having people come up to me saying that this is a song that they play to to feel empowered and to feel like um inspired, and because I think it's yes, it's this kind of encouraging song and very powerful, and I'm stronger because of the pain, and you know um that's amazing, but it also kind of gives you the backstory of why I'm stronger, right? Which I think is so important to say, this is what I've been through, this is my journey. And if you've been through these kinds of hardships, you can also come out the other end, and there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Pain can become purpose.
Oh, 100%. And I mean, and even with his speech at the end, like, there's good pain and there's bad pain. Like, there will be pain
Yeah.
out of the good, there'll be, good out of the
Yeah.
pain.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
such a true fact of life. And I mean, I'm sorry, I just love the fact that you basically wrote an album when Spike Lee made the phone call. I
Man,
mean, I think that's fucking awesome.
I was ready. I was ready. I was prepared, man. I was ready to write 100 songs till we get it. You know what I mean? I think it's very important, and it signifies also just like wanting to. I think it signifies also the how much he cares about artistry and how much he really does care about the arts, which I think is something so beautiful and something um, that it's inspiring to see someone at that caliber care so deeply about what they do.
Well, no, Aiyana-Lee, I mean, you're absolutely right. And I mean, Spike throws himself in everything he does. And I mean,
Yeah,
obviously, just in listening to your stuff, you throw yourself in everything that you do.
yeah, yeah,
And I mean,
yeah.
seriously, just I can't wait to hear more. And just again, thank you for the work and just thank you for the time. This has been fun.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome.
And don't forget to visit our friends over at Bay Street Video for all your DVD, Blu ray rental, or purchasing needs this summer, as they are still open for curbside and some mailing delivery as well. Over at 1172 Bay Street, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, you can give them a call at 416-964-9088. That's 416-964-9088. Or send them an email at baystreetvideoto@gmail.com for any of your DVD and Blu ray needs.